When it comes to the gaming calendar, there is no bigger month of the year than October, and with us entering October of 2025, it comes as no surprise that there are quite a decent number of games that I'm keeping on my radar. 2025 has been a pretty big year for gaming overall, but it has been a little bit of a quiet one for me, so I wanted to take some time to share all of the things coming out in this month that I find noteworthy enough to pay attention to. Starting with October 2nd, we have two different releases that are on my radar, the first being Ghost of Yotei for PlayStation 5. Sucker Punch's follow-up to the 2020 Ghost of Tsushima sees you playing as new protagonist Atsu, hundreds of years after the events of the first game on a quest for vengeance. I personally loved Ghost of Tsushima when I played it on PS5 last year for the first time, so much so that I got the Platinum Trophy for the game, so I'm very keen to see whether Sucker Punch actually manages to innovate and elevate from the original game. I'd love to be playing this at launch, but between my current playthrough of Donkey Kong Bonanza and my upcoming Silent Hill F Spooktober playthrough, unfortunately, I'll just be keeping an eye on how this game goes over with general audiences and saving it for a later time. The second game coming out on the 2nd of October is the Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2 collection coming to Nintendo Switch. This is probably the most out of place release on my radar for this month, mainly since I'm not majorly into Mario games, but also I've played both of these titles already. I did actually play and beat Galaxy 1 back on the Wii when I was just a teenager, and thought that it was decently fun for a platformer, but thought it was majorly overrated, and later on beat Galaxy 2 and thought pretty much the exact same of that. The reason that this release is on my radar at all is because when it was announced recently, I was just kinda confused as to what Nintendo were doing. They already released the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection on Switch, which includes Galaxy 1 but not 2, so I thought maybe this was going to be a Switch 2 4K version of the Galaxy games, but no, apparently not. And they made changes to the storybook to join together for both games. So if you play the 3D All-Stars version of Galaxy 1 and the digital version of Galaxy 2, then you probably don't get that? I don't know, seems weird, and Nintendo are not gonna have me double dipping, so I'm just keen to see whether people are mad about this release or not. Moving ahead one day to October 3rd, we have Digimon Story Time Stranger coming to PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series consoles. This series is a kind of a if you know scenario, where anyone who's played these loves them, but not a lot of people seem to be willing to give a modern turn-based JRPG Digimon game a go. This series has proven to be consistently great though. If you don't know what to expect and are put off by the very anime aesthetic, then hear me out. This series is pretty much Shin Megami Tensei, but with a bigger emphasis on monster collecting, easier combat and battles, and a bit of a more PG story. If that sounds great to you, give it a shot. I won't be playing it myself because while I have played and beaten Cyber Sleuth, I've not actually played Hacker's Memory, so I should really do that first, but I eagerly await the verdict on if this lives up to those titles or not. Exactly 1 week later, on October 10th, we have another duo of releases on the radar, starting with Little Nightmares 3 coming to PC, Switch 1 and 2, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series consoles. This series has been a little pet favourite of mine ever since the first game came out, and I played it back on the PS4. Blending together a perfect mix of creepy and unsettling imagery, a unique art style, and fun platforming and puzzle gameplay, this series never fails to disappoint with quality, but does tend to feel a little overpriced at release. Interestingly, the developers of Little Nightmares 1 and 2 are not making this game. It's being made by Supermassive Games, who make horror games such as Until Dawn and platformers like Little Big Planet 2, so I'm fairly confident that we're in good hands here. This is the first game on the list so far that I can say I actually will be playing at release, since it'll fit in perfectly to the Spooktober calendar. So I'm looking forward to checking it out myself and sharing it with you guys. The other game that's coming out on October 10th is Battlefield 6, coming to PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series consoles, which looks like it could be a genuine return to form for the franchise, at least I sure hope so. Including a full campaign and a full multiplayer suite of everything players love and expect from a Battlefield entry, I'm keen to see if this repairs the damage that the past decade has done to the game's online popularity. I'd love to be there day one for release with you all, but I have so many things to play in October as it is that there's just no time. Maybe if I ever find a night where I'm not streaming or making a video, I can get some cheeky matches in. At least, if EA's servers are working anyways. Next, we come to my single most anticipated title for the remainder of 2025. That being Pokemon Legends ZA, coming to Switch 1 and 2 on October 16. When this game was first shown off so many months ago now, I was furious over the performance issues after an entire console generation of entries that ran terribly. But ever since the Switch 2 came out, and we saw the enhanced version of it on that system, my fears have been alleviated. While it may not be the mainline return to form that I was hoping for, this looks like it's going to be an absolutely great time at 4K 60 FPS. Those that know me know I'm a huge Pokemon fan, but haven't been too pleased with the entries in past years, so I'm more than keen to go back to Lumio City and climb the ranks while filling out my Pokemon collection. On October 21, we have Ninja Gaiden 4 being released on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series consoles. I've never played a Ninja Gaiden game myself, even though it would probably be exactly in my wheelhouse. But when I saw that Platinum Games were working on this new entry, and I saw the level of sauce they've injected into the combat, I knew I was finally interested. This game looks fast, responsive, stylish, difficult, and so cool that it's just a shame that I'll be too busy playing Pokemon to have any time to fit it in. Let's hope that it's finally a return to form for Platinum, since their output in recent years has been quite rocky. Finally, in our last entry for this month, we have the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake coming out on October 30th for PC, Switch 1 and 2, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series consoles. If you've seen anything about the HD 2D remake of Dragon Quest 3 that came out last year, then you know exactly what you're getting with this one. Absolutely gorgeous art, beautiful animations, fantastic music, probably some quality of life updates, and what will likely become the absolutely definitive way to play the first two Dragon Quest games. I've loved this series for so long since playing Dragon Quest 4 on the Nintendo DS and never had a way to play the original trilogy that I was satisfied with, and you can bet everything you've got that I'm gonna be there day one copping this release and trying to spread the holy gospel of Dragon Quest. Everyone who knows me personally knows this series means the world to me. It's one of the only things that I have merch of, and I couldn't think of a better game to lead me into November. So that's my whole list for everything that's on the radar for October 2025. If there's anything that you think I might have forgotten or might enjoy but might not know about, please feel free to leave it in a comment below. If there's anything that's not on the list that you are personally really looking forward to this month, also feel free to post it below so we can all share what upcoming releases we're excited for. Catch you later, guys.